Drivers could be charged to bring polluting older diesel vehicles into Birmingham city centre. The government's looking at introducing low emission zones in our biggest cities, which would target the dirtiest diesels. London's considering introducing a £10 charge as a deterrent for drivers there. Well, Sian Grezchek is in Birmingham city centre for us right now. Tell us about what this could mean for Birmingham then, Sian.
Well, Nick, if the tunnels behind me weren't being refurbished, we'd be seeing hundreds of cars driving through this evening, all emitting various levels of pollution into the atmosphere. Now, the problem with older diesel cars is that they emit invisible particles into the air, which can cause problems for people who suffer from things like asthma. Now, according to the Department for Transport, there are more than 1 million diesel cars on our roads in the West Midlands. Now, Birmingham is leading the way on looking into and investigating whether or not we should have a low emission zone, which could mean these sorts of charges being brought in for those older diesel cars that are pumping out more pollution.
So how dangerous are the levels of pollution produced by cars here in the Midlands?
Well, it's really interesting that the Department for the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs released a statement today which said that unless action is taken, Birmingham, London and Leeds would face dangerous levels of pollution from vehicle exhausts by 2030. Now, the RAC says there's really been a shift in opinion on the benefits of using diesel cars in recent times.
Although diesel vehicles are more fuel efficient, petrol technology has been catching up on that, so the gap has closed dramatically. Diesel vehicles also emit particulate matters, and generally the medical opinion is that perhaps we've underestimated the damage done by the really small particles emitted by diesel vehicles.
What do motorists in Birmingham think about all this then?
Well, earlier on I spoke to some at a petrol station earlier this morning, and I asked them what they thought of the idea of low emission zones and if charges were introduced, whether they'd be willing to pay for them.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, the way the city is now with traffic, it does need to be eased a lot. And the congestion in traffic, the pollution in the city, it's ridiculous.
It's not too bad. There's newer cars, lower emissions, so I'll understand if it was the old cars, the bangers that you get on the road, but the newer cars are lower emissions anyway. So.
And now that the debate has started over lower emission zones, the RAC also came out today and said that introducing some sort of scrappage scheme for those older diesel cars would probably also help solve the problem.
Sian, thank you. We've actually had lots of comments from you on this. Paul Stevens wrote on Facebook, adding another motor charge will only penalise the low-income drivers. And again, shops and businesses will suffer due to lack of folk going into Birmingham. Roger Fownes emailed us to say the sooner diesel fumes pollution is curbed, the better. Stop the dirty diesels altogether, including old buses and taxis. Rebecca Warner tweeted this: diesel car owners should not pay £10 a day. This fuel is more efficient than petrol. And a final word from Dave Horrocks on Facebook. I already pay more road tax because my car is older. I got an older car because I can't afford a new one. Thank you, all of you, for getting in touch. It's 17 minutes to 7. This is our top story.